you're there in their midst. We believe you are here in our midst. You said, ask, and you shall receive. Knock, and you shall be open to you. We place our conversion into your hands. We ask you to bless all those present, those that are coming, those that are here in spirit, and those that are going to present. Lord, may you bless them. Our Father, art in heaven, Lord be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. The Lord be with you, and mighty God bless you, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
We're in England, so we're going to start with the national anthem of England, and then we'll sing the national anthem of Uganda, because this is, we call it a Ugandan convention, Birmingham. So we're going to do that. And then at one point, are we singing the Chitiwa cha Buganda? Yes, we're going to do that as well. So please, let's stand and sing the national anthem. 3 of them, please. Thank you so much. Star precious King, long to the King, God save the King. God save the precious King from the honorable King. God save the King. Save the victorious, happy and glorious, known to reign over us. God save the King. Ineggwanga Buganda lyamanyibwa nnyo enkata lyaffe kwetooloola ensi zonna. Twesimye nnyo olwa Buganda yaffe. Ekitiibwa kya Buganda kyava dda, naffe tukisuumenga. Thank you. Today, as we are here in this convention, we're here to learn and to know a few things that sometimes we don't even put our attention on. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're having different things as we go along today and tomorrow. As you know, we have people from different organizations that are joining us. We have sponsors that we can't do this on our own. We need other people to support us. And on top of that, as we're here today, let's do some learning from different areas, from different routes. So to start with, I'm going to invite a brother on the Muslim sector hand to lead us in a few minutes. So I had to ask.
Hi everyone. I am Ruth Kalibala Bwanika. I am a journalist by profession. This is my second time to be here, and I am part of the Birmingham Uganda Investment Convention as the publicity. You know, it's nice to be here. Hi.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. As we go along, we'll do that again, maybe in the afternoon. But as you all had, it looks like you're not done bad at all. Family, they'll go 3 children, they'll go 3 children. This is lovely. If you're out there, just keep the fire burning. You have 7. Oh, she didn't tell us. She's the mom of 7, Ruth. But does she look like a mother of 7? No. But we thank God for that. Everything works for the reason. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm coming in a capacity of a church in Birmingham. There is a church. It's called Good Grace Church. It's a new church that has started. This church, is formed out of the community people in Birmingham, because as you know, when we came to this country, we found churches and different beliefs. So, and the time of the churches in this country is either morning, Catholic, Church of England. If you're Muslim, you go to prayers on Friday. So as a group of Ugandans and other group of people, we sat down and agreed and said, you know what, we need to do something that is going to help us, benefit us as Ugandans and other people. Mainly as people, as you know, in this country, the pattern of working is shifts. It's either night or days. So we came to a time whereby when you work in the morning, after working 12 and a half hours shift, it's really hard to get up at 10 and go to church. I don't know how many people believe that, but me, I can't. And our bodies, sometimes they don't respond right. So we came up with an idea of saying, you know what, we could do with having a church, a service that starts at 3 and finish at 5. So we have a church, Good Grace Ministries in Birmingham. It's located at Nichols at our Roots headquarters in Birmingham. So we start at 3 o'clock and finish at 5:30. That gives people a chance. Those who worked in the night, in case you finish at 7 in the morning or 8, at least you have a stretch of a couple of hours before you come to church. And then after, you can go to work. So we fellowship every Sunday from 3 o'clock up to 5:30 at our Roots Center. So if you don't know our Roots in Birmingham, it's on the other side. It's one of the organizations that was opened, it's led by a Ugandan, our brother called Patrick Kwesiga. He's going to be here in a few minutes and he'll talk more about it. He'll tell us about the start of our Roots and everything. So I'm inviting you, please, whenever you're in Birmingham, come at our Roots Center. We have a service, church service, a proper, and I'm telling you, proper church, Ugandan way service. We praise the Lord in African way, and we praise God in the English way. In any way that you come in, believe me, it's all done down there. There is a lot of intercession. There is of counseling. You can speak to the pastors the way you want. You can explain yourself. Feel free to talk to someone. But what we don't believe in is you coming in and saying, I want to see pastor, and then we say, bring 20 pounds. We don't charge to see a pastor at all. And we don't even charge to say it's a must. You have, when you come to church, you make sure you have something in your hands. It's biblical, yes, we have to give. But we've put this out there free, that it's entirely up to you with your God to give something. So it's not like an obligation. You have to give something. You will come to church, you have to bring money. No, it's only God who knows your heart. So you come in, learn the word of God. And when it comes to giving, it's entirely between you and your Creator. So please don't say, I'm going, but I think I need to take some money. Feel free, it's free. So you're all welcome. Everyone is welcome. It doesn't matter how you are. As we have this scripture that says, come as you are. So please come as you are and let's fellowship together. Thank you so much. And on that note, I'm going to invite our own, because everyone is saying, oh, I've come here to support Sister Liz. I've come here to support her. I'm going to invite her to come and speak a few things. She's a good speaker. So this is the first one. If she's starting now, believe me, she can do better than that.
Hello, everyone. So I'm talking on behalf, I shouldn't be the one talking on behalf of the Misa in Uganda, because I'm not to that faith, but at least I'm one of the founders of that congregation. So right now we've tried to start with making you aware of all the religions that we try to bring together and pray in this area, so that those who don't know, you can come and join us. You can still network. We do different things, bring children, let them know others, because now they belong to this community and it's important to make friends in their very communities. So I'm talking on behalf of Emisa mu Uganda. It's a Catholic fraternity belief, which we all know it's one of the international religions. I'm not of that faith. Don't mistake me for anything. But because the representatives are not here, that's why I'm speaking on their behalf instead of skipping the portion. So I'm a representative of the Uganda Kingdom. That is the Kabaka, not the foundation. Kabaka Foundation deals with Kabaka's children, the reigning Kabaka's children. But I belong to the Kabaka government that runs the kingdom duties abroad. So with that, we need to bring Ugandans together so that we do different things. First of all, to look at their mental health and manage it. Because when you're from abroad, everybody who has ever lived in exile, or as we are here, it hits you different. It doesn't matter which route you use to get here, but not being home hits you different. So we sat down when we were looking at ways and means of bringing people together, making them leave the house, belong to certain groups. We thought about bringing different religions together. So we consulted with Emisa mu Uganda in London. They already have it going for so many years, and they were willing to give us, to work with us to get priests so that the Catholic people can meet every second Sunday of the month. Because in Manchester, they meet every third Sunday of the month, and in London, they meet every first Sunday of the month. So I'm very excited to tell you that the first priest we had to run that congregation was our very own Father Stephen Sechiwunga, to those who don't know him. But when we started that gathering, we had a challenge. Father was living in Sheffield. Yeah? Yes, this is pastoral work. We expect it to be free. Yes, it was free. But it was very taxing on him because he has to do Mass in Sheffield, then finish Mass, get on the train or drive himself into Birmingham. Yes, we try and meet minimal expenses like petrol or tickets, but still it wasn't practical because at times he would be late or the trains would be late. It's Sunday service, then he gets the side late. And then he was also promoted and he got busier. Then he went back to school. Then in between themselves, among us, the back of all organizations, they have the heads. We were allocated another priest. And that priest is from Coventry. And now that is the person who is running that session. So for all Ugandans, wherever you are, I would encourage you, if you belong to that sect of belief, or if you only want to come together and meet people, the Catholics are having a Uganda Catholic Mass every second Sunday of the month. And it's happening in Northfield at a Catholic church called St. Brigid. And it's St. Brigid's. We will give you the address later. We'll put it out. But it's St. Brigid's. It's just next to the Sainsbury's next there. So if you are in Birmingham, if you are around, if you've come to visit someone, if you fail or if you manage to attend the second Sunday and come for Mass, that's very good. And then every Sunday, you've heard from Sister Sylvia, our roots, they have a Pentecostal belief sect service that goes on every day from 3:30, every Sunday from 3:30. And you have prayers on Friday as well, isn't it? They also have prayers on Friday. And if you miss that, one thing that it makes a lot of sense when I say it in my culture, omuganga teyeganga. I've managed to support other sects to build themselves in their belief, but we are still failing to have Muslim prayers on Friday in Uganda. So we are still on it. Thank God one of our leaders is here. Shay, I will send you and request you to go and speak to the committee members in Oxford, and you inform them that the Muslims in Birmingham, they have been left behind because we do not get any kutubas in Uganda. We do not get any prayers at all in Uganda. So I will request you to work on that for us on our behalf. I can look for a venue. We've got Mwanaisha. We can work together to look for a venue because it's very, very shameful. Representative of the king that have managed to support other sects to have somewhere to go, and then I just don't have anywhere I'm supposed to be. So kindly please do that for us and communicate. We will be very, very glad. Still the same thing, we can still meet the expenditure of that person coming in whenever, even if we can start with once a month. Then we can discuss it as we go along. I understand today we are having Juma here, which is very, very refreshing. So that is our humble request when you go back, and thank you for coming. I know the message will hit directly to the top of the committees. So that's where we are at with religions and beliefs in Birmingham. So if you are anywhere close or far, you can contact us, come down, let's have something to eat together. Let's go for these prayers. And by the time you come, I believe we will be having Juma as well. Doesn't matter when. The Sheikh is here himself. So thank you very much. Has anyone got any questions about what I've just talked about? Am I too abrupt? I have to confess, I have a problem. When I'm speaking, sometimes I'm too fast that I don't even hear myself. But it's a disease. I can't really help but just show me that so I now remember and tap myself on the shoulder to slow down. But I'm a fast speaker, so when I speak English, it's even worse. So I'm so sorry if I'm too speedy, but just remind me to calm down. It's the happiness of seeing everybody that gives me that gist to be so fast. Okay, thank you very much, and take my apology for that. Anything anyone wants to know about religions or where we are at? Or I can peacefully sit down. Is that all right? Thank you very much for your time.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most gracious, the most merciful. Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy to be here. And this is my first time coming and being here, alhamdulillah. And I'm so happy that I made it. As you know, the life here in UK, you just need to book a day so that you can fulfill some responsibilities. And of course, after that, also networking and getting new friends is something, a priority when it comes to living in UK, because at any time you can get a problem. So you need people around you. Yeah, so on that point, that's why we are all here. And alhamdulillah, for me, I have already started knowing more people. Today I've known Father Stephen, and I'm sure he's now going to become my friend. Yeah, you know, in one of the hadith, the Prophet said, إذا جاءكم كريم القوم فليكرموا. When a person comes to you from where he's coming from, he's a respected person or he's a honored person, it's obligatory for you to also honor him. What he or she believes in, you have to honor them. So that's Islam. So I honor Father Stephen for meeting up today. Yeah, I've also met Sister Ruth. Yeah, for that one, I've been seeing her a long time, and now we've met here. So this is why we are coming here. Otherwise, I'm called Maulana Abdurazak Kariowa. As earlier said, I'm the Imam in Oxford City, or under the Ugandan Muslim community. And also I'm a leader of the youth in Ugandan Muslim community. It's a big charitable organization that runs all over the UK. But now, when it comes to that extent, then I'm the youth leaders when on the Islamic side. I also I own a company called Timeline Travel. It's registered here in UK, fully registered. You can check it on the company houses. It's there, but it's basically it's on Muslim side, because we take people to Hijjah and Umrah in Saudi Arabia for Islamic rituals, as well as you can inform a friend who is a Muslim in case he or she wants to visit the Kaaba or Mecca and Medina. We can always take them. And the person behind all that has been my sister here, Liz. Yeah. I can talk a lot about her, because Alhamdulillah, it's her day, and also she's the one behind this. So she has a lot of things. Let me hope, as I'm benefiting from her, you're all benefiting from her.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, you should benefit from her. Otherwise, I welcome everyone who has come at the convention. I'm so happy. I have seen my brother and sister from Scotland coming from Scotland. That's really being friendly. And also my sister from Buganda Lands Board. She's from Uganda, and also all the way from Uganda. And actually, also Sister Ruth is from Uganda, and others. So we are so happy to see you here. Alhamdulillah. Let's keep it up. Don't go away except you have got a new friend. Yeah. Don't go away unless you have a new friend. Yeah. They have told me to speak about the connection of the Ugandan Muslim community, or the Islam and the Oxford community within, and also to the connection to this convention. I'm going to be precise, inshallah. So yeah, let me tell you a little bit about the Ugandan Muslim community. If you know any Muslim there, you can refer that Muslim, that person or a friend to me, or to Sister Liz, or to any Muslim, because I'm well known here in UK when it comes to the Ugandan Muslim community. Or you just ask for the Imam Oxford or Sheikh Maulana. They will reach you, then we can connect, and that person can benefit under this umbrella of the Ugandan Muslim community. So under the Ugandan Muslim community, that's like an umbrella, but down it has like nine matwalis, or nine communities along throughout the UK. We have in East London community, South community, West London community, the North London community. Then we have the Oxford community, the Coventry, Manchester. We are going to start something here in Birmingham. She's talked about it, and we are planning it. Actually, I thought we had started it, because last time we was here, we talked about that, and we even said we have to start. So I think we need to initiate it. Yeah, because I have some sheikhs here whom I say they can come and help. But I think we are going to follow up, inshallah. Also, we can benefit from under the Buganda initiative. Yeah. So for me, as my community in Oxford, it's a well-organized community. We have everything that makes a community. We have a community account. We have a community website. You can go on the website, just type in there Ugandan Muslim community in Oxford. The website will be there. You will see our activities. You will see me there. You will see Timeline Travel. You will see all the programs you have at the community. the Oxford Muslim community. We have everything there in our website. So under that, we also do activities. We have an area. Also, we have an areas like this, the area for investors. As a little community, we have investors within. We have those investors who we have a brother who has his own company for cleaning. We have a brother who owns a company for catering. You understand? We have a company for timeline travel. All those companies are legitimately registered in UK. So at any service, in case you know anyone wants a service from Oxford, we can help you in that. You understand? Those businesses or those companies, they have helped to help the Ugandans who come from Uganda to get jobs. You understand? Because when you just come here, you just need how to survive. So you can just start by cleaning, because one of the company that based in Oxford, or one of our investors in Oxford, they have a contract of maintaining the buildings of the JR Hospital, or the Oxford University Hospital, JR in Oxford, and also the dormitories and some parts of the Oxford University. They clean all those things. So when you just come to Uganda, you need to see that you earn something, even before everything gets right. We can see that you can start, earn some money, and life goes on. So that's how we are smart in the Ugandan Muslim community. So anyone you know there, we welcome everyone, even non-Muslim, we can help. Yeah. So Alhamdulillah, that's all I can say about the Muslim community, and one of the communities that have just started, and they are running well, because in connection with the place, when you're entering Oxford from London, you will see a big picture there, the seat of knowledge. Yeah, the seat of knowledge. So we have to cap up with the city to be knowledgeable. Yeah, so that's it. Otherwise, I thank my sister here, Liz Ricketts, Kazibwe. I was looking for the name. Yeah, Alhamdulillah, she's a newly married, mashallah. But she's a good person. Really, she's a good person in making, and also personally, is that person, a few people who can be there for you from the start to the end. Yeah, yeah, and that's why I asked, because for me, we have just connected, not very far. That's why I asked. Eh? Okay, anyway, it's far. Yeah, it's far. Because even the other convention, I had to come, so that's almost a year. Yeah, but yeah, that's why I'm saying that the way how I've managed to benefit from her is really massive. Together, yeah, because
Okay.
the Uganda Birmingham and her, it's one person. Yeah, but I want to thank her for her good heart at this convention here. I want to thank her for the good heart she has, and also to ask her to always be like that. Don't change. You know, the world can change you because of the people you're helping, and they don't give back how you want it. You know, you can be a good-hearted person, but whenever you help, then it's something. Yeah, it's a stab at the back. Yeah, so you have to keep going. In Islam, we say just keep going.
Yes.
Yeah, only Allah will reward you for that.
Thank you.
So keep it up. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to always boom this thing, and also your plans, and even us. Yeah. Okay, nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to invite Liz Ricketts to come and speak about health and social care. She's been in this field for a while. Believe me, she'll give you the right knowledge on this. Thank you. You're welcome, Liz.
What I'm going to do different this time, I'm not just going to feed everyone all the information. We are going to feed each other with this information. Where there is anything legal that concerns your field, because health and social care is very many sectors. If you don't mind, we can just discuss the sectors anybody thinks of when we talk about health and social care. When we talk about health and social care, Father Stephen, what comes in your mind? Which sector, which jobs, what exactly do you think about when we talk about health and social care?
When you say health and social care,
Yeah.
I'm part of that, and
Yeah.
I'm one of the health professionals.
Yeah.
My area is quite different. Mine is chaplaincy department,
Yeah.
looking at spiritual and pastoral care.
Mm.
So we look at that area that nurses and doctors
Don't
not
touch. Yeah.
area, listening to the concerns of the people, which could be spiritual or
Mm.
something else.
Yeah.
So you nurses or doctors, what do you ask? You ask what is paying the people,
Mm.
what could be the causes,
Mm.
and you describe that.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's something
It's not the
more than
end.
that.
Yeah.
So what I do, I go into the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
sit down, listen to their concerns.
Yeah.
The most part I do is listening to their concerns, acknowledge their concerns, and bring in some kind of spiritual element in there.
Yeah.
And we use some kind of individual assessment
Yeah.
or personal-centered approach.
Mm.
They might be the same problems,
But differently
but
dealt with.
different
Yeah.
outlook.
Mm.
And I think they do appreciate
They do.
our being there,
Yeah.
because they've got somebody to listen to
To them.
somebody
Who is not just looking at the disease.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, for instance, you go to someone,
Mm.
you think that their concern is the disease,
Yeah.
and yet their concern is not the disease.
It's more
Their
emotional.
concern is at home,
Yeah.
or their concern could be the children.
About their dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, of course, yeah.
And the professionals won't listen to the dog conversation. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to give you a scenario.
Yeah.
So I went in,
Mm.
then talked to someone, then I asked him, so what prayer would you like for me to pray for you? And said, ask God that he might take me. Of course, I don't pray that they might take them,
Mm.
but his concern was the pain.
Yeah.
That was too much.
Yeah.
And that's why he's asking God to take them. So in other words, you can approach the nurse and say,
Mm.
if you can get a means of reducing
Pain
the
relievers. Mm.
then he might be in a more comfortable place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my area.
Oh, thank you very much, Father. Thank you. Any questions about that?
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Mm-hmm. Anybody wants to be a father? Anybody wants to be a chaplain? Okay. You're lucky everybody understood as perfectly as you communicated.
Yeah, but by the way, chaplaincy is not only priests and religious.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even us.
Yes.
Even a Muslim can be a chaplain.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked in some big hospitals. I've been in Sheffield.
Oh, yeah, because all religions are in hospitals. Yeah, come to think about it.
Yeah, I've been.
You see, interaction changes minds. I didn't know that. Yeah.
And I've been working with imams.
Okay.
In both areas, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anybody
Okay.
can. So
okay.
goes to the training.
Questions.
Yeah.
Does it have to be as patient for you to speak to them, or even distress staff?
Yeah, we do give support staff. So okay, it's not only patients, everybody, even the family. So sometimes you, for instance, when the staff lose a staff member, for instance, you work in the same hospital and one of you has passed on. It's quite distressing.
Yeah.
So we offer that kind of support. Listen to them So for the funeral, so if the patient has passed away, now it's the next of kin
To
or the
decide.
family that's responsible. So if the family requests you to do a funeral, then you do it depending on the way they want it.
Okay.
So if they ask to do a Catholic funeral, for instance, if they ask me, I ask them to come to, or we book an appointment, we meet with them, I show them the order of service and how it's done, and then we discuss how we're going to do that kind of funeral.
Yeah.
So, for instance, back in Uganda, if you're not a Catholic, it's hard to pray. It's hard for me to pray for a non-Catholic.
Yeah.
But I think in the UK it's quite different. I can pray for any other Christian if they have asked me.
Yeah.
So I don't do mass.
Yeah.
I do a
Prayers.
funeral service,
Okay.
which is different from mass,
Yeah.
which would be a Catholic mass. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it free or is it?
Yeah, a good question. So usually I don't ask any money. It's the funeral directors that contact the priest that you asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Father. Any other questions?
Thank you so much.
Any other
Okay.
questions?
No, the world is full with everything you said. Thank you so much, Father Stephen. Thank you.
Thank you for ambushing me.
That's not bullshit. We agreed on the way we're going to deliver this.
Yeah.
We've learned quite a lot. That's
Yeah.
all under health and social care. And I didn't know most of what he said.
I did agree.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
In other
I
words,
think it's the best way now to do things.
I had the freedom to say yes and no.
Of course,
And I chose
but it would
yes.
be difficult
Yeah.
because I would really persist. Okay, thank you so much, Father. So anybody else working in health and social care, please tell us what you do. Oh, I know, Damali, you work in health and social care. And I know you're a social worker from Uganda. Do you want to share something with us, please?
I think I will not say much, but what we do in social care, basically is making sure that individuals are able to live independently. Like this can be done through guidance and counseling. It can be done through the real caring for the people, making sure they are not discriminated, they are not isolated. Which can put their lives in danger, because when they are isolated, they feel like, oh, the world is going, and so you ensure that they are really trying to live independently. They are okay with everything you do with them. So you ensure that there is confidentiality, because they need the privacy when you're caring for the different individuals with different problems, maybe mental. It could be different things we handle. Sometimes they want their privacy. So the clients will tell you, I want this, keep this information. So when you're carrying them, you ensure that if they say, don't say anything about me, then you don't say it. Maybe when you see like it's dangerous, or maybe you need to tell your manager that what she wants is dangerous, but she doesn't want me to say it. To say it out, and you know that maybe it would endanger their lives. So you can tell your manager to handle it. But of course, we ensure that we help them, guide them, counsel them, and keep their privacy, confidentiality. And we make sure they are happy. Sometimes we ask them what will make them happy. So you can give them a good care. I think that's what I can say about social care. And then maybe social work. We deal with things like making sure that, let's say, the children who are on the streets, they get foster homes, like they are out of the street and they are able to get what to eat, where to sleep, and they are confident in what they do. So sometimes the legal issues we handle, with the children, ensuring their protection. So that's what I can say briefly about social care and social work. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And if you have questions,
Unfortunately, I didn't study higher education in Uganda. So
Yeah.
I'm not well versed with a lot of things in Uganda in higher education. In Uganda, do you do degrees and diplomas, or it's just degrees for social workers?
Actually, the older diplomas and also bachelor's degree in social work. Sometimes you find it is social work and social administration, but sometimes it's just social work and community development. So we have all the courses. Yeah. But when it comes to social work as a profession, sometimes we don't have I have a position of a social worker. I'm a registered social worker. I think there's maybe a problem. Maybe the Uganda has not realized social work,
The need.
as an important thing to put those roles, like I'm a registered social worker. So you find you're a social worker, but you're working under probation officer. You're working under local government, like a community development officer, but you're not specifically a
Into social
worker.
work, yeah.
And also the skills, like it is really done differently. Here, social workers, they are mostly in social care, caring for individuals. But back in Uganda, it's still somehow a challenge. You're just under community development officer, under probation officer, or maybe under police. Like it's not really, yeah, it's not really connected. But you go to Ugandan hospitals, you will not find a social worker.
Zambia Hospital has one, but she works as a cashier.
Yeah. Now
she
she's
goes
not a
around
social
saying
worker.
I'm a
She's
social
now
worker,
a
and
cashier.
she never talks about any social
So
care
I don't
things.
know who are the policy
Makers in that,
or like who can help us to ensure that social work is really
doing
recognized.
social work jobs.
Yes, in Uganda, because there are very few hospitals where you go and find you find a social worker. You just find guidance and counseling. You find priests. Yeah, you find priests. Yeah, maybe you pray for the patients, but your profession is social work. So there is still a gap to realize social work as a real profession, like how it is done in the UK. So I don't know who will be the policymakers to guide the government, or maybe to guide us. Yeah, to make it a big thing. You be a social worker and you're a registered social worker, and you're training social workers who will help people to live independently and peacefully in their country. So that's what I can say.
Do you have like registrations when you qualify? Do you register with a certain government department?
Like a body?
Yeah.
That's what you mean?
Yeah. Do you have a body for registration?
I think that's where the challenge is.
Nobody registers you after qualification.
Nobody registers you as like as a social worker.
So nobody's following you up to see what you're doing, because it's like freelance.
Yes, because when we are studying it, they say you can do everything.
Oh my goodness me.
Yeah, like it is.
You can do everything in social work, though. Not everything. You can't operate people.
Yeah, because we don't specialize.
Yeah.
Like how it is in the UK, you have specialization. Maybe you are a social worker for children, or maybe for elderly, the elderly individuals. So
learning disabilities.
It's just general. Like you're not specializing. Maybe I'll handle children, or I'll handle only the elderly, or I'll handle only So there is still a gap which has to be filled.
Okay.
Sorry. So in those organizations where I hear like parents, they've got like misunderstanding. So there where you supposed to be working, or there's not even a social work.
No.
So that will be done by the
family
probation.
family
Yeah.
family issues under the police.
So it will be
They
under
deal with that.
probation officers to do that, not the social worker to do it. Or maybe
Instead
the
of how
social
it's
worker,
done here, you go into social services. Social services will involve police if it's required.
Yeah, so that will be like cases here, like
Mm.
different organizations. Yeah, those are the people who will handle it. Maybe if you're a social worker and given a job of a probation officer or probation assistant, that's when you will handle the family affairs. So that's where the challenge is.
Okay.
My question, because probation officer is
Yeah.
Yeah.
the requirement to be a probation officer is
A social work.
Yeah, yes, but not specifically only social work, because you might have studied
BA.
development studies. You can be a probation officer. Yeah.
So actually, you have no profession there.
Yes.
You're just tagging on other
so there's no
professions.
body for social workers. That's
terrible.
That's the issue.
Why do you give someone who thinks of going for that course?
And it's a very, very hard course to get at university.
Yeah, it's very hard.
You have to be.
Discourage them because there's no jobs in that sector.
No, I think that should be policymakers or implementers. Like we have to work together, create a body of policy. How do I call it?
A body that can govern you with policies, clear policies and regulations.
Yes, yeah. That is what is lacking. So we need a body, the people who can advocate for social workers, to make it a big profession, so that the people
and a recognized one.
Yes, who study that course, they are really recognized and they're doing what they're exactly supposed to be doing. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
To be honest, like I said, I'm an emergency department doctor, so I speak for emergency department.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if any of you has been to the emergency department in the UK
Me.
before.
I've worked there before.
Worked there before.
Yeah,
So it's
as an auxiliary nurse.
so many stories are said about the emergency department, and I can say most of them are true.
Yeah.
The pressure is immense, and because when we're talking about the chaplaincy, and I was thinking, in my daily work, the pressure that I have, because people are complaining about how long they are waiting to see doctors. It's not like in Uganda. If Zambia is busy, you go to Ruvaga.
You have a
because
choice.
you're paying your money. If you're not happy with the diagnosis, you go to SAS clinic and get whatever you don't necessarily need sometimes. But because of it's like the gateway into the hospital, the emergency department. So I have only a few minutes to see the patient and make a decision whether they are going to go home or they're going to be admitted. So things like, because these days, I think in the last few months, I work with Birmingham Heartlands, which is, I think, the busiest hospital in the region, emergency department-wise, and sometimes Good Hope Hospital. People come in, and they're not really coming in because they are unwell or sick. People come in because they are hungry. Many homeless people in this country, which is unbelievable. And they come in because they know at certain time, or 2 a.m. in the morning, they're going to have a cup of tea and sandwich. And by morning, they have not been sick. They'll go home because that's all they wanted, to be honest. And others, of course, because they can't see their general practitioners, so they come to the A&E, but something that doesn't need to be in A&E. So this creates pressures in terms of those critically ill, stabbed patients or gunshot patients or heart attack patients who need more time. But I was reflecting on the chaplaincy issue that Father was talking about and saying, in that department and under that pressure, I wouldn't be listening to.
Exactly.
I wouldn't pay much attention to that aspect of whether you've come here because you're hungry or you wanted a sandwich or something. It's sometimes you find out later in retrospect, like, I think this chap only wanted to eat and then go home, or somewhere to stay.
And warm.
Especially in the winter, exactly.
It's
cold outside, they have nowhere to stay. They come into the department, it's nice and warm. Then in the morning, when maybe the buses have started, especially in we don't have many night buses in Birmingham, unlike London. So people can't go home. So they come and stand, then they say, I'll wait for the bus in the morning. Then, but as like I said, I will only speak about the emergency department. I've worked in acute medicine briefly before many years ago, and it's not very different from the A&E. But I can't speak about the other departments. But just to say, it's like a gateway into the hospital. So we have very short time with the patients. those who end up staying, and most of them, to be honest, end up going home because they don't have really emergency
issues.
Here, emergency departments, when we are talking, we say our job is to save a life, save a limb. So if it's not any of those, you don't need a life-saving intervention at that time. I think that's why people complain, because you end up waiting so many hours because other people who need have a real emergency and an accident are the ones who take all the attention that we give, and then the rest will end up being pushed down the line. Although, we try. I'll speak for Birmingham because I know it's one of the busiest, and it's really busy. You can sometimes have waiting hours of up to 6 to 8 hours to be seen. And at the peak of the winter, when people are coming in with flu and all sorts of things. But normally, the government target is 4 hours, which is realistic in some hospitals, unrealistic in some of them, to be honest. But if you have a proper emergency, what I can assure you that you're seen as quickly
as
because
possible.
even the doctors and the nurses, that's their priority. But people who end up staying longer are people who have things that can be seen by the GP or things that can wait. And that's why they end up waiting. Yeah.
Do you know why we have that? People go in A&E. It's because these days GP, to get an appointment with the GP now is hard. Because certainly people, we can't go online to do whatever they ask to do online, book appointment online. Yeah. That's why instead of take my time to call, or by the time you call, by the phone call ends, they give you certain time of waiting. But if that time is finished, when you get through, you be like 100, number 100. By the time you go to be number 2, you say, oh, close, you've got enough number for today to be seen. So that's why we rush in there in A&E.
Yeah, and I understand that. I personally, I've not seen my own GP because every time I call, I can't get him. So luckily, God has kept me healthy enough that the only time I've needed to see a doctor is when I had a tonsillitis and I was at work. So I asked my colleague to the side room, had a look, then did a prescription for me. But I would say yes and no to that, because it creates unnecessary pressure in the department.
Definitely.
But I have colleagues who are GPs as well, and actually next time I'll drag them along to this convention. But GP is also not an easy job for them. It's a busy job. Their business is not actually to see patients. Their business is what they do after the patient has left. There are a lot of paperwork they have to do. I think that's one of the problems with the challenges, not say problem, in this country. You have to do a lot of documentation. When I was working in Uganda, because I worked in the capital, and then I did some work in the rural areas in Namutumba district. And when I was in Namutumba, well, I didn't see many patients, but because I was a manager there. But when I would see patients would come in with their exercise book, and I write 2 lines, and whether they throw that book or they use it to wrap pancakes after, it's none of my business. But here, 10 years after you've seen a patient, they can go and complain, and then it comes back to you, and don't even remember where you were at that time or how you were dressed, or even. So the paperwork takes a lot of time, and that's what I've been, I think, in the GP practices, especially when every time I see a patient and I discharge them in the emergency department, there has to be an accompanying letter to the GP, either with some instructions, or there's no follow-up, or there's a follow-up that the GP has to do. So after the GP has seen his, 10 patients in that day, you have to look through all these letters if this patient is attached to their practice, and then do those instructions that have been sent from the hospital. And it's not just emergency department, it's either obstetrics and gynae, or it's a medicine department telling them to change treatment or refer this patient to this service. So it's quite a complex demanding system. And I've only got to understand that because my colleagues are GPs, and at first you say, oh, GP job is 9 to 5, but it's not. They come back home at 9 p.m. because they are doing all this paperwork. And it's all government policy, to be honest. So sometimes I would say to patients, if you really need to be seen, you come to the emergency department. You will be seen eventually, because they can't send you away. It might be after 8 hours, but you will be seen. But if it's not really an emergency and you can call your GP the next day or the day after, then it might save you waiting 8 hours and then, get frustrated and go home without even being, but you'll be seen in the end. We see everyone because it's open 24/7. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
I digress a little, but it's because of what Mariam mentioned. I just wanted to inquire. In Scotland, we also go to the pharmacies. Do you do that in England? Because we were talking about not being able to see the GP, get an appointment. What I've done many times, I've walked into the pharmacies, and the pharmacists are quite helpful. In fact, sometimes I've gotten better advice than if I went in to see the GP, who I wouldn't even see. So they'll send me to one of the nurses, sometimes those experienced nurses. So pharmacists is also a good
an option, yeah.
Okay.
But most minor conditions, sore throat, things like that, something in my ear, I think pharmacists now have the capacity
to do that.
And if they can't, then they'll tell you, go to hospital. So I think walk-in centers.
Yeah, but they have been very reduced now because the south of Birmingham, the whole of the south of Birmingham, we had one at Katie Road. And now it's not a walk-in center, it's a triage. So NHS will, if you go through the assessment with the NHS on 111, if they end up concluding that you need a doctor, then they will send you to the Badger doctors at that place. It's no longer walk-in. So there is a lot of pressure that is going to impact on the GPs and the hospitals because we don't have walk-in anymore, which used to help. I've been very unlucky. My experience with pharmacies hasn't worked because of probably my illnesses. But every time I've gone to a pharmacist to speak to them about what I'm going through, I've been redirected back to my GP. But I would understand because I have quite a fragile life. So I have a lot of diseases going on. So I understand if I don't feel comfortable enough to see me. But I understand the need and the work. We do appreciate, Doctor, the work you people do for us, although the waiting still doesn't beat the appreciation. But it's what it is anyway. Any more questions to our lovely doctor? Or we continue? Brenda, you're answering for everyone. Thank you so much. So, Damali, when you talked about that social health and social care thing, about social workers, that has triggered me thinking about so many things in different directions. Yeah, people are meeting the president for money for operations and things like that. I think that's a good initiative to do. Yeah, because one thing I noticed with Uganda, if you get someone to take you to the president and you show the president where you're going to get the money from, that he's going to keep nipping in and getting as much as he wants, he will give you the ears. Yeah, because if you tell him that we can do this thing and they put it through the parliament, that social workers are supposed to be registered, and qualified. Here we are qualified and registered at the same time. If you have done both, we are qualified registered social workers. But then these registrations collect money from different people. It could be helpful to boost the economy. Because I think the president can create jobs. We can, because he hasn't got the brain to understand how social work works. But if we went there and showed him the manual of how it works, because the thing is, if you're going to be a social worker attached to a police station, you're going to be in family matters. Family matters, people who come to report these cases, they're supposed to be paying something for something, either for medical checkups or something, even if they're not paying the social workers directly, but money is going into health somewhere. Because like allegations for abuse, sexual abuse, you've got to pay to be examined. You understand? So still we will be collecting some money for the economy and putting it in the system. Because first of all, this qualification is highly rated at university. Yeah, in Uganda it's very, very highly rated. And I was surprised to learn that it's an arts course. That's how they classify it. And here in England it's a science course. Yeah. Because I qualified with a bachelor's degree in science, social work. So I'm surprised, and yet Uganda is following the legislation from here, that's what they're using back home. Yeah. And unlike what Ugandans do with the social workers, here when we qualify as social workers, they used to have diplomas. But as of 2009, they phased out bringing out new or enrolling new diploma holders because cases were so many against the government and the qualification was being doubted whether people have got the capacity to understand certain things, because there is a reason why somebody goes for a diploma instead of a degree, and it's basically around academic excellence. You are not qualified well enough to go for a degree, or you haven't, you feel you can't manage the other. So they stopped enrolling new diploma holders, and we don't do diplomas here now. I think by this time, most of them are phased out. You'd find somebody as old as probably 60 something. They're the ones who are still carrying around diplomas in social work. Otherwise, they are not called social workers anymore. They are social work assistants. So when you qualify here, you're going to qualify as a social worker, but in different avenues. Personally, when I went to school here, I studied at University of Central England, that is Birmingham City University now, and my major was in mental health and homelessness. So, well versed with issues of forensic science in regards to health and social care. I don't know if the doctors specialize in that or you specialize in that in Uganda. So my area of interest was rapists and pedophiles. So those are the people that I really concentrate on, and the homeless. That is still under mental health. And what happens here, once you qualify, you will go and register. You can actually, as a social worker, social workers and doctors here, they have, and nurses, I think, you have a registration before actually you qualify. You have a registration PIN to protect before you qualify. Because the moment you enroll at wherever university you've gone to, they start counting you to be a part of that profession. So as a social worker, as a nurse, as a doctor, as soon as you enroll at school, you get your PIN as a student. Yeah? So in between those 3, 5 or so many years you are at uni, anything you do can deem you unfit for that job. Yeah? You as an individual. And anything your child does under the age of 16 can easily be put on your DBS. Yeah? I don't know if the medical world works like that. Did you study from here? Oh, okay. But to us, the social workers, we are controlled by that PIN. So these things include going on Facebook and you binge drink and you do different things. Going on Facebook and then you start ranting about issues in the hospital. Yeah? Going for public appearances and then you produce yourself as a registered something, then you do something directly opposite. So these are the things we look at as soon as you enroll, to be very, very cautious about. One example I'll give you, when I was at uni, my second year, we had issues in London. I don't know what it was, but we had some instability in London, and there was rooting. I think you remember those episodes. Between 2010, 2010, 2009, yeah, in between those years, we had a lot of chaos going on. Was it about blacks or something? We had something that was going on, and people were breaking into shops and they were looting whatever they could. So in one of the videos, after the event, they were running these videos calling for help. If you know anybody in these videos, please come up, say their names. And one of the parents identified their girl child. She was in the breakings in and PC World and Carries, and she carried her television out. So the mother reported the daughter to the police. And this daughter, going into her records, she was a student social worker. And she was deemed unfit for practice. So you have to be really careful with what you're doing with your PIN and what your children under 18 or 16 are doing. Because any child's behavior below the age of 16 is most of the times you are the person who is accountable for that. Yeah, so when you get your PIN after registration, before we were doing it with HCPC, that's when we are combined with all the professionals in health. But right now, they took us back to social workers. It's a social work renewal registration, and it's done every year. We have to indicate that we are still functioning very all right. We do 3 pieces of work. You talk about what you've done, the legislation, and how you've been guided, and the experiences, and what work you've done. So you renew it every year, and it's payable. It's £90, which is quite expensive, and they are putting it up now. So those are the things you could look at it do in Uganda. That is a lot of money that people can be looking at. So with all that going on, I did find the job a little challenging, but I'm somebody who quickly gets bored of things. But my channel of social work did not allow me to get bored with my work. I get bored where I am now, but not as much as when I do certain aspects of health and social care. I don't see that the future of being freelance social workers is anywhere sooner. So that is the main reason we are not even allowed to advertise our services, because they are in-house services to England. So areas where we work in hospitals. Currently, I'm a triage social worker. The nursing triage sometimes works a little different from the triaging of social workers. So basically what my job role is, I'm in between the hospital and the community. Because we have different catchment areas, a social worker who is employed in the hospital cannot work in the community, but they can recommend whatever that is leaving hospital to us. Then we pick it up. But then I'm in the middle. As the hospital is ready to discharge, they have a form they fill, which is a talk form, which is the transfer of care, and that form comes to me, in the whole of Wolverhampton, for all of the in-house hospitals and the outside hospitals, out of the city hospitals. So this form comes to me, I read through the form, without seeing a person, I make decisions depending on just one piece of paper. Very unfair, but it's got to be done anyway. There is no time for me to go and see over 10 people in different areas, in different hospitals, in different districts. So I actually implement care using the hospital advice that was given on a piece of paper. I don't meet people at all. So I look at whatever you're requesting. I can come back to you. Sometimes someone will make a mistake on the application. For example, a new nurse, just a mistake out of tiredom, and they recommend a wrong pathway. For example, someone needs nursing care, and then someone recommends a pathway 1. Pathway 1 is home first, Pathway 2 is somebody we take into a residential setting because they are not able to where they were before going into hospital. We want to reassess the situation and come out with what the hospital didn't have time to look at, Then we decide on long-term activities or long-term care or stay. Then pathway 3 is residential, is nursing or residential, permanently in 24-hour care. So anybody can make a mistake. So on this form, I look at it, look at the needs, then liaise with the hospital back that, you know what, I think somebody made a mistake here. Can you change it and get back to me immediately? And then I put care in someone's life. I don't know who organizes transport. It's between the ward and somebody else. Medication. And we have somebody who does the medication. That's my son. He's not here today. He's coming in tomorrow, a pharmacist. Organizes medication, this person leaves hospital and goes home. And no one is going to see this person as a professional, immediate professional, until 4 weeks. That delay is intentional. First of all, the people who are in hospital implemented a care plan or a support plan because they have treated this person to be declared medically fit to leave hospital. So they have looked at the person and they're like, you know what? You need 2 hours of being looked after, or you need to stay somewhere residential, or you need to go back home. So when I put that in place, we don't monitor it for the first 4 weeks. We want to see, has it worked? In between, has anybody called to say it's not working? Are we holding on to it for long term? Are we changing it? That is the main reason why social workers don't visit you immediately. And I hear quite a lot of complaints. Social workers didn't show up ever since my dad came from hospital. It is intentional because the thing is, your dad is come from hospital today. Doctors in hospital recommended he should be in bed for, say, 4 hours a day. I can't come in to do anything long term because we haven't seen if that works. bodies behave differently in hospital than in the community. So at by that time, I go in, look at you, ask you questions, take your requests into consideration and your families and other people who are involved in your life. Then we decide on a long-term pathway. If you need to go back home, we work on taking you back home. We liaise with physios or OTs to make sure everything is in place. Then you go back home and live an independent life if you can, or less intrusive life. And if it's pathway 2, still we do the same thing. Pathway 3, if you're going to remain in care, then you remain in care. But I've heard several stories about social workers. One, I'll give you one. Social workers take our children away. What have you heard? And not of course. Yeah. So what bad things have you heard about social workers? Oh, okay, we are inhuman. Ooh, we are human. Not anything else. What have you heard about social workers?
Like, for example, patient, I work on the ward.
Yeah. Yeah.
My patients are located to a certain social worker.
Yeah, in the hospital.
Yes. So certain social workers, they don't really turn up, they just use the phone.
Yeah.
And this patient is asking you're holding them there for hours, for days.
For days, because the social worker is not there.
To come and have chats.
Yeah.
There's nothing else we can do. Our hands are tied. We've done our medical side, but we need the social worker to make a decision.
The social side, yeah, to move forward.
And they don't turn up. Where are they? Don't know. What is their phone number? You phone them. They're on holiday.
If you're lucky.
They might pop in for minutes.
5 minutes.
You can say, can we do assessment on the phone? And the patients really become so stressed. How do I speak to someone? Making decision for someone that on the phone, you don't know what they're...
Seeing someone is completely different from hearing them.
In that area, I've come to that experience where the patients become so stressed.
And yet we are the final people in their line of care.
For someone they don't know, it's a social worker's issue. Exactly. That's what I've heard.
How about social workers not being available?
They're not.
We are always late and we don't say that we're going to be late. Yeah? Social workers, they never return calls. They never answer calls. Social workers don't pick their phone calls. Yeah? We rarely work under emergencies like you guys because...
it's not like an emergency, medical emergency, but like something that's come up with more urgent.
Yeah.
Or I need to take someone out of this situation.
Yeah.
Dangerous for them, so I put the rest of the work on hold and then first deal with this.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in social work, we may not come up like that. It's absurd to hear because most things, once somebody's been declared medically able to be going home or anywhere safe, they need a social worker's brain to plan the next level of care or input. But I will say all the things you've mentioned, they are quite right. Yeah, I put my hand up. They are right. We don't pick phone calls. Sometimes it is intentional. We don't give out our phone numbers when we have the phone numbers, and we should be giving them to the public. Yeah? But one thing that I will tell you, a patient, when we are in vulnerable situations, we hold on to some threads in our life. When you are ill, most of the people we are talking about, these are elderly people, over 65. Yeah? If you get them your number, because we work in phases, yeah? I'm the only social worker, because I'm a triage, who picks up a phone and calls hospitals. Yeah? Otherwise, no other hospital will do that. No other social worker is allowed to do that. They're not triaging. So there is no reason. They have nothing in contact to make those two contacts to each other. So if someone is in hospital, whether you call my phone call, I'm not a hospital social worker. Once the person has left their home, a community social worker cannot interfere with anything being done in hospital. Yeah? So just know these things, because one time you're going to be faced with a situation with yourself or with family members, and you get very frustrated. And if you don't understand this system, it even frustrates you that more. If you are in hospital, look for a hospital social worker. They have an office there. They may be very busy, but yes, that is where you're entitled to get all the help. If your person is discharged from hospital, into the community, back to your home. Call social services, tell them your postcode, and ask them to tell you where you're located according to social services. Are you in the north? Are you in the south? You know your locality team, yeah? Then ask for the locality team's number. This is how you can access me as your social worker. Personally, right now I work on the north locality in Wolverhampton. If you just sent a message and you didn't mention where you are in regards to social worker catchment areas, that message will not come to me. But as long as you call social services and you leave a message and we know the catchment area, it will go to the right team, and that team has a clipboard, it will be sent to me directly. Yes, we take a while to answer phone calls. Mainly some of the reasons are lying under that wrong people are calling you when you are in a different team completely. I live one team, I'm from north, I live north, I'm now in south. You're still calling me to deal with you. And the thing is, the moment a social worker picks up a phone call and speaks with you and they don't deal with your issue, yeah, that could easily go against me. That's why we do not pick these phone calls. We are not allowed not to pick them, but to protect yourself, you would rather wait for a message to come through clipboard. Because if they can't get you, they will have to send a message through the clipboard. Yeah? So that is also there. And the other thing, social workers are very few in this country. Very, very few. Doctors are even more than what we are, because doctors, at least there are GPs everywhere. In every little town, there are GPs. There are doctors at A&E. There are professionals in different departments. But social workers are not very there. And our work is not a one-day job that stretches the timelines. When you intervene in people's lives, it's not robot-controlled. You've got to flick on a switch and flick it when you're going out, and the lights turn out. These are humans who are flexible, dynamic, they change. Today you agree on something different, tomorrow morning they're talking about something different. Today I come home, I speak with your son, tomorrow the daughter calls, the other day the niece calls, everybody's saying this, that, the other, whatever you planned is not right, that one hasn't got no powers to speak. So it becomes very, very complicated, and you're supposed to accommodate all these issues. So the work is not a one-day piece job that you can go into work, like nurses and doctors who are not working at GP practices. They go into work, they can live without an attachment to that day's work. But we progress our work. It's continuous for months. So it becomes really, really difficult. So there are other challenges we face as humans. Some humans are very slow in life. Some are lazy. Yes, in every job, you're going to find people who slack. And the fact that we are not supervised when we work, it is even worse. Yeah, we are entrusted with all that power to work from home 5 days a week or 4 days a week. You will do what you want to do. Yeah, it's only a few people who feel guilty and they have that commitment with themselves that they can try to do something in that time. So all those things impact on the environment we're living in. And then, as always, there is discrimination in all colors. So I'm going to be a social worker. I'll be discriminated when I come to your house. The look you give me is going to give me the vibe of whether I'm working easily with you or I don't. Because we are all human. Yeah? Somebody goes where they are loved. So these things will impact on everyone at one point. But when you know how the system works, you can blend in easily and get what you want out of the system. Not that it works all the time. And we are one of the many people who have issues that slip through the net. For example, a referral is made and it's missed, either by a social worker or the duty person who is supposed to allocate these cases. So that is the validity of the job we do. Yes, it's real. It's got a lot of challenges, but we try. That's why we are still here, all of us in this room today. It's because social workers try to put things together when we have messed them up ourselves, sometimes intentionally or unintentionally. Any questions about where we are at the moment? Yeah.
So when I'm in children's A&E,
yeah,
of course, you have a social worker is one of the mandatory questions I ask.
Definitely.
And those who have, they have a social worker and they have their phone number.
Yeah.
Is it the same with adults? You have adults who are vulnerable who have a social worker, and they're located one person.
What happens?
About moving localities.
Yeah.
What happens?
What happens with social services? We hold cases for different occasions. If you're not learning disability, you will not have a permanent social worker all the time. If you're not under mental health, you will not have an allocated social worker all the time. So the rest, if you don't fall under those two categories, once we place you somewhere, for example, you're from hospital, I've waited 4 weeks, I've come to see you, I've confirmed you need to stay in a residential home or in your home with care coming in, I will transfer you to the review team for next year. That is as good as. Yeah, I will not check on you, I will not intervene until the following year, the same date, when your records will blink red that you need to be seen again. Yeah, but if I look on the system and I realize actually the GP who did a home visit, yeah, now I'm answering Sylvia. If the GP did a home visit, then you've got wounds, and I'm seeing district nurses coming in every other day to dress you. This is the judgment sometimes we use. And you're like, you know what? I have someone who's leaving hospital today. The pressure on beds in hospital is too high. Everybody's talking about that. Everybody's looking for me. We need to move people from hospital to this place, or people in the community back into hospital. I will use those professionals' evidence that someone has seen her or him, yeah, and I make a judgment to make a phone call. So these things will continue to happen because we prioritize who needs the time more. And the way we prioritize is if you don't have diabetes, if you have family, if you already have a care agent coming in, all these people under the law, they have the legal obligation to report or to call for help if there is any need. So we take chances with that kind of situation to make sure that, you know what, let me save this time, I go and do this. But at least if that somebody was not seen by a professional last year on the past review, or they were seen, but in between there is no evidence to use to back me up, definitely you've got to go out. You've got to go out.
Isn't that one of the ways that these cases slip through legal challenges? Because, yes, they have a legal responsibility to report. Mm-hmm. But if, yeah, I know, of course, most of them try. If not all, if they have concerns, they raise them. But I'm just saying this because of the cases we see that come up on that. Yeah. I'm sure those are extremes in any profession. Mm-hmm. But isn't that one of the ways that these gaps, people slip through this? Because if you're going to review them in a year, if no one has seen, I saw a patient, of course, confidential, I can't say, but this gentleman came in and their foot, they were diabetic, and their foot had become gangrenous. So gangrene is where it dies, basically. Mm-hmm. And when we're trying to find out why, this man had not left the house for 2 years. He had never taken off his socks, even the socks, taking them off. They were embedded in the skin. Yes. Yeah. So I don't know what his social, situation was in terms of the social care, but he had a friend that he was. Of course, that is a different situation. But I'm saying if it's a year and someone has not been seen, they are on your radar and they have not been seen. What? Because, of course, they say GPs, such people when they call the GP.
Sometimes they can't even call.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't call. Mobile phone, or they can't see the digits on the phone.
Rightly saying, because they have many conditions. They usually have so many problems. Yeah. Usually, such people, they will have many issues around them. So if they can't do that, then which means that whole year
they're going to be down. We have such cases where somebody is already known to us. Yeah. A person being known to us is somebody who has either been recommended by somebody or referred by a family member or themselves to call social services, and you tell us, I need help. Yeah, then you're known to us. But there are people who are not known to us. If you've not made a referral to social services, you've not had ambulances come to you and take you to hospital so that hospital can put you in social services, then it's so easy for somebody to go through the net and even die. Cases are there. But unfortunately, if you have not been known to social services, nobody will be held accountable for that. So it is very important as family or friends, when you see somebody, you don't need their permission to call social services and say, you know what, I think this person needs support. They live alone in the house. They used to come out 4 or 5 times a week, but we don't see them any of the days. And you can decide to make that call anonymous. We will not say, but we will come and visit. Because once I visit, if the neighbor said they hadn't seen a person for 4 or 5 days, I'll come with police. And the police has the orders to come and break in. If I'm with them, then we see what's going on. So you can save a life by doing such charities. So the other thing is, if you're known to us, sometimes it sounds very unfair, but if you're already known to social services and we have given you carers, yeah, that's scenario number one. Carers are our eyes. Because the care manager has a legal duty and obligation to observe through her carers to inform social services. So if anything happened in between, the manager of the care agents will be held liable, not social services, because they're supposed to tell us every day. If somebody missed medication, if they failed, if they went into hospital, all these things are supposed to be reported. So we have an eye on these people out there. That's why we are not in. But if anything happened, support plans are a working document. They are supposed to be updated as changes come to someone's life. Yeah. So anytime you call, we will intervene. It may not be an emergency to us, because what we consider an emergency, if you don't have family, yeah, you can't even communicate by phone, you don't have any relatives around, things like that will quickly come out. But if you have carers coming in, you have family, they can come in and give you a drink or something to eat, then you're not priority to us. You're safe somewhere. We can even take months. Yeah. And the other thing that some people never know is that that same criteria will operate over and again and again and again. And as social services, the one major thing we look at to intervene, can you bathe yourself or you can't? That is the main eligible assessed need. If you can shower yourself, you're as good as gone. Because the main reason that we intervene in people's lives, if they cannot maintain their personal hygiene. If you say, I can wash myself but I can't take medication, that is not a social service problem. That is an NHS problem. We are not doctors, we don't do medication. Deal with the NHS to make sure they get you someone to give you medication. But if they are together, these needs are together, you can't wash yourself, you can't take medication, we come in and do it. Sometimes NHS will pay us half or quarter of the money and we do the main job. But just medication in isolation, we don't do those calls. That is a health need. Okay. Clear cut. Anything else?
Just to say something on that. Yeah. I'll take it back to where the father spoke about earlier. Mm-hmm. I work in Birmingham Community Hospitals, yeah, which is C27 Good Hope, Mosel Hall, West Heath, Territory, Anna Marie, and all the circles. The problem that we are having, I think the Catholic Church, they've got priests and everyone to come in. And so the same thing at the Church of England. But for the few months I've noticed something, that we don't have anyone to come from the Muslim community. We've lost a few people on the ward. My ward is the end of life, so we have people who are living days, hours, minutes. And then when they come in, because people say, oh, Sylvia, your brothers are here, so I'll go when they come in on the stretcher. And I received this man from the Gambia. Yeah. He's a Muslim. He had no family. Mm-hmm. When he passed, it's the most painful thing. Mm-hmm. The only thing he told me was, where are you from? I said, Uganda. He said, I'm from the Gambia. I'm a Muslim man. I need someone from the Muslim side. Mm-hmm. So I said to him, I will try and find someone, but in our trust, we don't have. When we checked everything, and believe me, I went up to the last bone because I wanted this man's wish to be fulfilled. So he said to me, his sister she lives in America. Yeah. So the sister was on the phone saying, can you please look for someone to pray with him, to pray for him? I tried. I said, I don't know. I didn't know who to call that time, to be honest with you. But in that short time, because he was there, he had a few hours to leave. As I was with the sister on the phone, he went quiet. So I thought, when I touched his house, yes, he was gone. That's really pained me a lot, because I thought, I wish I'd known a leader in the Muslim side who can run, come and do this. It has happened like 3 times, and it's really bothering me. I'm so glad that we mentioned it here today. Please, let's put it in practice, because out there, the
People need the service.
People, yeah. I have a woman, she's an Asian lady. Her family locked her in the garage and they went to Pakistan for the wedding. Now, for some reason, she has stopped talking. They picked her, the carers went in, they reported it, she was ended up on the ward. She's got a few weeks to leave. But because she was that angry of the family or what they did for her, she doesn't want to anything. So, but she can write. She said, I don't want anybody from my family or from my culture. She's a Muslim. She said, I need someone who can
Pray for me.
So, please, if there is a chance, let's put it in old.
Okay. So, one, it's absurd that somebody wanted spiritual service and they couldn't get it.
Yeah.
I think NHS, I think it is working hard to see that there are more spiritual leaders in the hospital. And I think you might be having a chaplaincy department in Birmingham. And if you have a chaplaincy department, so if you call them, at least there are some that can come, even if it's a Catholic. I do listen to either Muslim and so on. But if you don't have it in your department, I think it would be good.
We
to
have
suggest,
it, but specifically patients want Muslim to pray for them. So I've taken it up to the board to decide whether, because at the end of the day, yes, if we try and bring a priest to Amina wants.
I think it depends on how that person feels.
That's how they feel. They want specifically.
This is what I want to say. I'm going to give you an example. So in Sheffield and in Birmingham, we had a list in the chaplaincy department. So if they call the chaplaincy department and somebody is a Muslim, we have a list of where the nearby imam, if the chaplain is not in, who we can call. If the Orthodox, we have some contacts of the Orthodox. So first of all, if they have not yet got the imam in there, possibly suggest the chaplaincy department to look around, and even to have in volunteers, at least to begin with, volunteers as time goes on, then they'll get.
Yeah, we've done all that, but now, in the last few weeks, now we have someone from. We have a gentleman that is volunteering. He's from Iran.
Yeah.
And then we have someone from Israel as well who's doing for the Israel people. But because we raised it and made it a big thing. But if we have someone in our community, volunteers like yourself, as you say, and if something like that comes, it's all right. You're just a phone call away. You know what? Where are you? If you're not coming, who can come?
So in other words, from our own community, for instance, Imam, is from Oxford, but we might be having another one in our community.
Yeah, in his contacts, there is someone in Birmingham that he can contact.
Yes.
That person can come straight away.
Of course, it can be done.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, Judy.
It's all right. And I'll just conclude with health and social care as a business. What do we know that we can do in health and social care?
We can be self-employed.
Yeah. As workers at different levels, except social workers and doctors. Yeah. We can have care agencies. We can have care homes. We can have recruitment agencies, because they are completely different, but some people mix the two or add the two and do it as one. So we can also look into equipment business, because NHS, they do a lot of business with different equipment. And for people who are so high up there in tech, IT, people look for all these new machines in China, everywhere. They look at what the machine does. They come here, present it to the NHS, try and get market through that. If you're thinking big and wide and wanting to have a lot of money, I've seen people who are succeeding in that. So health and social care is not only to look at the professions we do, the extent of care that we are looking at, but it's also something you can look at. If you're not in health and social care, you can look at investing. Through a care agency, I personally own a care agency here, but I don't work for my company. I'm a registered care manager, but I don't work for my company because I have a responsible individual and the team runs itself because there is a working system in place. The only time I get to know that the company is working is at the end of the month when the carers want their money and the invoices have got to be paid. So this is something we can look at. If you want to start your own care company, you can come to me, write to me. You can look up at my websites, look for me, and I can support you to start that. If you want to open up a recruiting care company, that is when you just recruit people and send them to different people's either homes or hospitals. You're not an employer per se, but you recruit and supply to employers. So there are various things you can do with health and social care. Don't just sit and say, well, I'm not a woman, I don't work with people, I don't wash people. And there are so many things we do in health and social care and we don't wash people if you don't want to wash people. But if you're going to excel in health and social care, believe me, in this country, you have to start from the bottom. You have to wash these people and understand everything from scratch. You walk your way up. So when you see a doctor on the ward, they have been carers before. You can't go through the system without having done such things. You can't just be born from anywhere and you say, I'm going to be a doctor here, and you haven't been in the care homes. They need the experience and the references at school. So anybody who has got any question? Nobody wants to make business. Okay. 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 I thank you. Okay. I thank you very much for that day. Thank you for coming. For all you've missed quite a lot. Sorry, we can't go back. The time is up. But we are here tomorrow, same time, 9 to 5. 5 o'clock to 6, we're going to be going for dinner. Dinner is not going to be here tomorrow. So to get that place for dinner, be here so that you get your ticket for dinner and that venue we're going to. I thank you very much for always being with us. After lunch, we know people run off very much. They have done the same today, but we do appreciate everything. Thanks for always coming. Next year, we're planning things bigger. May and August, we're going to be at our roots. This is a Uganda-owned place. And we as management, we've decided to just support our own instead of being in this place because we have different obstacles. We're going to be at our roots for both the occasions on all days. The May one is 3 days. It's an exhibition. It's not me to talk or any of the presenters, but we bring whatever we own and sell and buy from each other, eat, drink, and end the days.
And mingle.
Yeah, so thank you very much for coming. See you all tomorrow. We've got communication. The ID people failed to come because of the travel thing. I don't know where they were, but they're telling us they may be here tomorrow. They will communicate before the end of the day. I'm still waiting. They are en route into Birmingham. They are not going to London. But they failed because they were very far, and whatever happened, I don't know. So we will be with them tomorrow. Fingers crossed, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you too.
Close, ladies.